Greetings from Them Institute. So today we are going to discuss about poetic devices used in the book Hornbill. It's grade 11 CBSE. We are going to pick up all the poems and all the poetic devices used in these poems. So let's start with the very first poem, that is A Photograph by Shirley Tolson. So very first line, first paragraph. The cardboard shows me how it was, showing something. Who shows the things? Human beings, kind of human quality we can say. So whenever any non-living thing is given human quality, the poetic device used there is known as personification. So very first line, cardboard shows me, the poetic device used here is personification. Then we have third line, each one holding one of my mother's hands. My mother's hands. That is repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of the word in the same line. The poetic device used is known as alliteration. My mother's. In the same line we have one more poetic device. Each one holding one of my mother's hands. The poetic device used here is symbolism. And what it is symbolizing? Unity, support and family bonds. After this we have fifth line. All three stood still to smile. Stood still to smile. Again alliteration. Then we have line number 7 and 8. My mother is, that was before I was born, and the sea which appears to have changed less. The poetic device used here is juxtaposition. That is the contrast between the human life and the natural world. Then the last line of this passage is, wash their terribly transient feet. Terribly transient, again alliteration is used. And one more poetic device for the same is transferred epithet. Now let's move to the second paragraph. Here in second paragraph we have fourth line. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. So here the poetic device used is irony. Ironical situation is there. Sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. She is nowhere to be seen around. Her smile has gone. So the ironical situation is there. Poetic device used here is irony. Then last line of the second paragraph. Both ride with the labored ease of loss. Labored ease. Two opposite words used together in the same line. The poetic device used is known as oxymoron. Then we have last paragraph. And last paragraph, that is last line. It's silence, silences. It is referring to what? That is photograph. Photographs, silence. Again, silence is whose quality? Human being's quality. But here it's given to the photograph. So again it is personification. And then another one is silence, silences, alliteration. Silence, silences, repetition. Now let's move to the next poem, that is the Laburnum Top. Laburnum Top by Ted Lewis. In this poem, very first line, the laburnum top is silent, quite still. Laburnum top. Laburnum top, it's no top. We are discussing about just the top of the tree. It's talking about the whole tree. So when this kind of poetic device used here is synecdoche. Synecdoche, that is referring to one for whole or whole for one. Here laburnum top is referring to the whole tree. So the poetic device used here is laburnum top. Silent, quite still. Here the poet is telling about the tree as silent, as still. Again the human quality given to a non-living thing. So it's a personification. Then we have second line. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. September sunlight, repetition of S sound, alliteration. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Third line, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. So the poetic device used here is symbolism. That is, again, I have already told you in the previous poem, symbolism is what? That is a symbol of something. So here it is symbolizing the end of one particular cycle. That is, it is representing autumn season. How it is representing? Through yellow leaves. So the poetic device used here is symbolism. Then we have second paragraph, second line. A suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. Suddenness, startlement. As sound, again repetition, so again alliteration it is. Then third line. Then sleek as a lizard. Sleek as a lizard, comparison between two unrelated things by using like or as. So the poetic device used over there is simile. Then we have fifth line. No, not fifth line, sixth line. The whole tree trembles and thrills. Again, trembling, thrilling. Who feels all these things? Human beings, human quality. So the poetic device used here is again personification. Then seventh line, second paragraph. It is the engine of her family. Engine of her family, that is metaphor. Comparison between two unrelated things. Then the poetic device used is known as metaphor. Then ninth line, showing her barred face identity mask. Barred face identity mask, that is one metaphor. And second poetic device used here is transferred epithet. What it is barred? Flowers of laburnum plant are barred. So the poetic device used here is transferred epithet and metaphor as well. Then third paragraph. Then with eerie delegate. Two opposite words used together, same line. So the poetic device used here is oxymoron. Then last line. And the laburnum subsides to empty. Empty is something silent, passive, lonely. Again, human quality given to some non-living thing, so it's a personification. Now let's find out the examples of onomatopoeia in this poem. There are many examples of onomatopoeia where the same sound is used by the poet in the poem, which is the actual sound. It may be of a bird, it may be of an animal, even it may be of anything, any object, even of human beings. So we have second paragraph, first line. A twitching chirrup. Then we have fifth line, chitterings, trillings. Then we have third paragraph, first line, whistle, chirrup, whisperings. So all these are the examples of onomatopoeia in this poem. Now let's move to the next poem. Next we have The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. Very first line, and who are you? The poetic device used here is apostrophe. When we are addressing to someone who is not visible, but we are expecting the answer from the ones. Said I to the soft falling shower. Said I to the soft. Said soft. Alliteration. Then soft falling shower. It is presenting some sort of imagery in front of eyes. Images, some sort of images. So we have soft falling shower. We have imagery for the same as well. Now second line. Which, strange to tell, gave me an answer. Who gave the answer? Voice of rain. So rain cannot give the answer. Again, human quality to something or some object which is not a human. So that is personification, gave me an answer. Third line, I am the poem of earth. This is metaphor. Comparison between two unrelated things. Said the voice of the rain. Voice of the rain is again metaphor. Then fourth line. Eternal I rise, impalpable out of the lands, and the bottomless sea. Bottomless sea. So here the poet has exaggerated the sea, bottomless, calling it bottomless. So the poetic device used here is hyperbole. Then fifth paragraph or fifth line we can say, upward to heaven was vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same. Altogether changed and yet the same. We know it's a rain falling. It may be in the form of drizzle, it may be heavy rain, it may be sometimes hailstorms. So different forms are there. But although it seems to be the one. So this is a kind of contradictory statement which seems impossible but actually is true. So the poetic device used here is paradox. Paradoxical statement we generally use in our general talk also. So the poetic device used here is paradox. Then sixth one, I descend to leave the dot atoms, dust layers of the globe. Descend to leave, again the human quality, so it is personification. But for the same line, dots, atoms, dust layers, it is referring to about all the earth. So the poetic device used here is synecdoche. Then seventh one, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. Seeds only, latent, unborn. That is the poetic device used here is metonymy. Metonymy is what referring to the one, something which is seems to be impossible. Metonymy is referring to something by the name of something else. Like seeds stand for all forms of latent life that require rain to be activated. Next is eighth line, and forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin. Again giving back, giving is the human quality, so it's again a personification. And make pure and beautify it. This is also the example of personification. Then we have the last line, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Whether you cared or not cared, I will again and again come to make you happy. So again here in the last line we have paradox in this poem. So next we have, after this, next poem is Childhood by Marcus Nathan. In this poem, very first line, when did my childhood go, is repeated in every paragraph. Every paragraph is starting with this line. Second paragraph again starting with the same sentence, when did my childhood go. Third paragraph again starting with this, when did my childhood go. So the poetic device used here is refrain. And for the same line we have one more poetic device, that is rhetorical question. Now next we have first paragraph, third line. Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven, two opposite ideas used in the poem, in between any conjunction is used, the poetic device used there is antithesis. And we have for the same poem, same paragraph, second and third line you may see, was it the day, was it the time. Second and third line starting with the same word, consecutive lines starting with the same words, the poetic device used is known as anaphora. Then we have fourth line, could not be found in geography. The poetic device used here is epiphany. So what is epiphany? Actually it is sudden realization of understanding heaven and hell. You know, generally we are being told this is hell, this is heaven. But this was the time when he actually came to know the difference between the both. So sudden realization of the same thing, the poetic device used is known as epiphany. Then we have second paragraph. First three lines. When did my childhood go? First line is refrain only. Was it the time that I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? All they seem to be. Till this you can find no punctuation marks is used for the next line. one sentence finishes and the next sentence starts, but no punctuation marks is used. At that time, poetic device use is known as enjambment. Then we have fourth line. They talked of love and preached of love. The word love is repeated, so the poetic device uses repetition. Now, let's pick up both the lines. They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Okay, opposite things, talking about it, but actually not doing the same. So the poetic device used here is irony. Then we have third paragraph, second line. Was it when I found my mind was really mine? Mine. So it is alliteration. Another is my mind was really mine. Synecdoche, because mind is not referring to just mind. It is referring to all physical appearance of the person. So it is synecdoche. Then third paragraph, third line. To use whichever way I choose. Whichever way, alliteration. It is the reverse word order in the same line. So another poetic device used in the same line is inversion. Then we have fourth paragraph, second line. It went to some forgotten place. It went. What it? Childhood. Childhood went. Again human quality to childhood. Not possible. So again it is personification. Third line. That is hidden in an infant's face. Infant's face. Again synecdoche is used. Here we are not just talking about infant's face. We are talking about the whole childhood. So the poetic device used here is synecdoche. Now next poem we have is Father to Son by Elizabeth Jennings. I think it is the last poem of grade 11th English book. So let's start with this. We have first paragraph, third line. Let's go with the second line first. Though we have lived together now in the same house for years, I know nothing of him. Irony, living in the same house, not knowing each other, two opposite statements we can say. Then poetic device uses irony. Then we have I know nothing of him, so try to build up a relationship from now. He was when small. So what do you find? First, second, third line going on, but no punctuation marks is used. So the poetic device used here is enjambment. Now, last line of this first paragraph. Yet have I killed. As we have already discussed, paradoxical statement has always hidden deep meaning. Yet have I killed. He has not killed. He has nurtured his child so well. Still, what was lacking in his bringing up that he is behaving this way. So that is paradoxical statement. The poetic device used here is paradox. Now second paragraph. The seed I spent or sown it where. Seed, spent, sown, alliteration. And for the same line we have also metaphor. Now second line. The land is his and none of mine. Again expecting for some answer. Rhetorical question for second line. And this is first and second line starting with the same word. Consecutive lines starting with the same word. So the poetic device uses anaphora. Now third line, second paragraph. We speak like strangers. Speak like strangers. Simile. Comparison between two unrelated things by using like or as. Then we have fifth and sixth line. The child is built to my design, yet what he loves I cannot share. Ironical statement. So irony we have. Then third paragraph. Silence surrounds us. Silence surrounds us. Silence is what? Again it's a human quality, so it's a personification. Now second line. I would have him prodigal returning to. Prodigal is a biblical character. So the poetic device used here is allusion. When we pick up any famous character from history or the famous one, just to compare him or her with the latest one, any person, then the poetic device used is known as allusion. Then we have third line, the home he knew, H sound, ha sound, so it is alliteration. Then we have fourth paragraph. Second line, on the same globe and the same land. Same word is repeated, so repetition is there. Then we have fourth line, why anger grows from grief. Again paradoxical statement, some hidden deep meaning in contradictory statement. Then last line, longing for something to forgive. I hope you must have understood that this is ironical statement, so the poetic device used here is irony. I hope you have understood all the poetic devices used in all the poems of grade 11 Hornbill book. If there is any query related to any of these poetic devices, you are most welcome to send message in your comment section. And if you want any other content related to class, grammar or something like that, please do mention. I will be more than happy if I am getting queries like that. Thank you. And please like, subscribe and share if you like the content.